Hello and welcome to another edition of the NDI Show. I'm your host, John Powell. Today's show, we're going to talk about something I think would be very helpful. It's a simple topic, but it's something that you should know going in, especially if you're buying gear. The hardware switchers that are NDI capable, a lot of them didn't implement NDI the way that some of the others did. Of course, NewTek's NDI, when you plug something either in to an SDI port or if you have a HDMI mini and you plug something in, not only does it ingest the video into the switcher itself, it also converts that video, no matter what the resolution is, and puts the NDI on the network. Now, why is that important? Say, for instance, you had a replay system, instead of having in the traditional sense where you'd have a router in between, you would have an SDI or a composite or a cable feed or a DA for that matter that would split the signal equally to the switcher and to the replay system. Well, with the NDI implementation, at least in the NewTek and vMix, when you plug something into a video input, or in the case of vMix, a capture card, whether it's an AJ Corva card or one of the other compatible cards, it converts that signal onto the network. So if you have an NDI 3-place system or you have a character generator that you're trying to bring something in, there's no need for a router because that converts it in there. I did some experimentation this week on a couple other switchers, and as a matter of fact, Livestream Studio has implemented NDI in some recent builds. But theirs is an interesting way of doing it. It'll bring NDI in, it'll bring a video source in. In the case of this HD 500, it has either SDI or HDMI inputs, either or. But anyway, it brings it in, but however, it does not convert it to NDI as an ISO source. The way that system works is the NDI output is your program output. And that could be a limitation, especially if you're implementing, again, if you're doing sports and doing a replay system where you have a character generator and you want to use live video and select an ISO camera source or an ISO video source, that there's no way of doing it that way. So what I'm trying to say is between the four switchers that come off to the top of my head, the NewTek TriCaster line, the VMC line by NewTek, and vMix, it'll definitely convert your signals to NDI to be displayed onto a network to be captured by a variety of devices. Now, the Livestream Studio, and I've used the StreamStar, basically when you plug a source into it, it only brings the source in as a normal SDI feed or an HDMI feed. However, if you want to send it somewhere else, you're going to have to DA that because it's not converting it to NDI. A lot of those switchers, it's not really clear on what the capabilities are or not. And Wirecast, I haven't had my hands on to convey that to, but vMix for sure, and the NewTek switchers for sure will convert any signal brought in to NDI to be used by whatever is on the network. And Livestream Studio and the StreamStar product, it does not. So I just wanted to share that limitation. This is a little bit brief, more brief than I usually do. Next week I want to do a product review. I'm pretty excited about showing you the capabilities, and the hint of it is an NDI only device, so this would be very important depending on what you're plugging this into, what switcher you're plugging this into. So just to follow up, vMix, NewTek TriCaster will convert to NDI on the network. Livestream Studio and the StreamStar / JVC Pro Video Studio does not. The JVC Pro Video Studio will accept an NDI CG feed in the ingest layer, and the Livestream Studio will bring in NDI feeds as inputs, but if you plug something in directly to a connector into that switcher, it will not convert to NDI. So that's today's tech tidbit on switchers and NDI capability. Hope this helps. If there's any questions, email us here. Hope all is well. Take care.
Tune in every Tuesday for new episodes of The NDI Show. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram.